Everyone, this is Tapan here. Welcome back to my channel Dev Tips. This is part 2 of the series where we will go over another interesting debugging feature called DebuggerDisplayAttribute. Let's run this by an example. So, what I have here is a simple class called person with first name, last name, email, date of birth, and I'm using one of the libraries available in the internet on the internet called Bogus, which helps you generate the fake data for any kind of class. And what I'm trying to do is on my main class, I will be generating a list of 10 persons. And let's try to take a look at the properties of those um, objects, how it looks. So let me put a breakpoint here. So at this point of time, we have collection generated for 10 people, right? And um, if I try to look at the value of that collection, which looks something like this, debugging tips dot person, debugging tips dot person. At this point, if you want to see the properties of these objects, you literally have to go down one more step and try to expand the actual object, and then you get to see the value of each properties on that object. One of the interesting way to avoid that is called debugger display attribute, where on the class itself you specify this attribute in a way that uh, let me just add the missing namespaces. Yeah. So you will be specifying a debugger display attribute on the class level with syntax where you specify like what property is this. So let's say name itself contains the first name, which is a property defined on the class, and then comma. And if you remember from my video series one, this is a format specifier for the variable first name, meaning give me the first name without any quotes. So NQ stands for no quotes. And after that, I'm specifying the comma, last name, no quotes, and then semicolon, email, again with no quotes. Now, watch what happens if I try to execute this again. At this point, collection is generated, but if I expand this collection, what I get to see is the name of each person and the email address. So this is what debugger display attribute um, helps you in figuring out key properties that you define in your format. Now, another interesting thing that I did on top of this is I created a collection of, excuse me, it's another collection which is more like a derived list of person. And why did I do that? I don't know. Maybe just write some sort of custom logic on the derived list. But just an example, another example of debugger display is like we can specify property from the parent class itself. So every list has a property called count, and that's what I'm displaying on the debugger display attribute. So if I continue the execution again to the point where I have the collection, let me just put a breakpoint here and remove it from here. If I run it again, so as you can see, this is a collection, right? And now it shows the count. And this is really, really helpful when it comes to debugging lots of objects. So feel free to comment anything that you know, which is really useful in debugging. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.